I'm Chanda I'm the Executive Director of Main Street Alliance, and I'm here with Kelly Conklin today at Foley Waite in Kenilworth, New Jersey. And we're going to have a conversation about power, justice, and civics for small business owners.
I'm Kelly Conklin. I'm co-owner of Foley Waite LLC, located in Kenilworth, New Jersey. I'm also board president of Main Street Alliance.
And what we're talking about in Main Street Alliance is true small business. On average, most of our members have less than 20 employees. And so some of these public investments that we organize around uplifts the collective and the community. Tell me about some of the organizing actions that you did in New Jersey over the last more than a decade.
Well, we've organized around paid family leave. We've organized around raising the minimum wage. We've had small business owners attend community town council meetings and get town councils to agree to declare themselves minimum wage communities, livable minimum wage, $15 an hour minimum wage communities. It's also about really making a system of representation work. If we don't organize, we are powerless. I mean, you can write a letter to Congress, and that's an important thing to do. You can engage in social media. I guess that helps a little bit. But if you want to affect policy, then it's a function of being there and speaking to the policymakers in a way they've never heard before.
There are some people who feel like a small business owner organizing can be detrimental to their business. Have you heard this?
Sure.
Doesn't seem like it's affected your business.
No, it hasn't.
But what are some of the things that you've heard when you're trying to build your network, that keeps people from engaging in civic life?
Well, one of the things you hear is, I don't have time, and I'm afraid of losing customers, and I don't want to take a public position, and I don't see the benefit. I mean, those are all things that, again, if you stop and think about it, okay, yeah, well, I understand that. I get here at 7 o'clock in the morning, and it's a good day if I leave by 5.
Right.
So I understand the time thing, but you know what? You also invest in your business, and whether you're investing in a piece of equipment or you're investing in the well-being and financial security of your employees and the community at large, I don't see the difference. That's something that I think it's easy for small business owners to miss, because we're in this hyper-competitive, you gotta beat the other guy. The only way you can change that is to be engaged. The only way you can change that narrative is to take up the cause. If we can bring folks together who share a common experience, that's really at the core of this, right?
That's right.
I am a small business owner. I see the problems that I confront every day. And if I have to fight every battle by myself, I'm going to lose most of them.
Yeah.
But if I can join with my fellow small business owners, we can have an extraordinary impact. And over time, we can and we have to do this. This isn't something that we really have a choice about.
I think it's really about also understanding the larger goal and working across lines of differences, and that's big differences, right? Across political party, across racial party, across identity, and all of those things are important to our individual lives and ourselves. We're stuck right now because it's all in or nothing.
Right.
We're so coming to the common space based on me and not on the we. And I think with MSA and what is potentially exciting here is that small business owners have the power, the collective power to do these things.
But I think the thing that's easy to overlook, and I think it's overlooked by a lot of small business owners, is actually how much power you really have. When we engage with political leadership, and they're used to hearing from these organizations like the NFIB or the National Chamber of Commerce, they've heard one narrative, right? The whole idea that what's good for business is good for America, right?
Yep.
And what we're talking about and what we bring to that conversation is a completely different perspective.
Yep.
I'm here to talk about livable wages, right? I'm here to talk about how we share the tax burden. I'm here to talk about how we grow successful small businesses by making access to credit, which is borrowing, affordable and practical, right? And if no one is advocating for that, it's not going to happen.
Right.
When I talk about fairness and I talk about, I'm no bleeding heart, that this is actually a practical argument,
yeah.
That's really what I'm talking about. There's a cost to not being to not having our employees have things like, I don't know, affordable childcare.
Yeah, but it's also not just employees, right? Because my mom was a small business owner, and she didn't have paid leave. I remember she was back at work like a couple weeks after she had my little brother, and that was because there's a cost for her to be off of work.
Absolutely.
And I think when you think about Black and Latino women business owners who had a surge during COVID of opening new businesses, they're leading households, they're leading businesses, and we don't have investments right now so that people can take time off to be sick, have a baby, and to care for elderly. Everybody, these are life experiences. And that's why I believe that joining Main Street is about working class. Everybody has somebody to care for, right?
Right,
and
absolutely.
so if you can sit down and have a conversation, regardless of your political affiliation, and say, I think we can agree that our community needs this.
Yes.
And what that looks like is that we could have organized small business owners and their communities saying, here are the things that we're concerned about, here are the pathways on that campaign, and this is what we need from you. Whether you're a formerly incarcerated small business owner, whether you're a small business owner in rural communities, where you're a small business owner who is Latino, Black, queer, they're a place for you to come and have common knowledge and spaces, and there are collective things that you can come together, take time out, and then go back and make political change.
So ultimately, your identity as a Main Street Alliance member in this future version of us would represent to somebody coming through that door a small business owner that shares the values of the larger community, that is engaged in this civic conversation, that has committed to this idea that what's good for me as an employer is also good for my employees, that we care about healthcare, that we care about tax fairness, that we care about access to credit, that what we are trying to do as small business owners is build an economy that's sustainable and inclusive. And those values, right, should be front and center. That's what people should feel when they come through the door. And that's really what we've been working on now these last 11 years. Let's join together and see if we can effect positive change by virtue of our shared interests.